Good gaming, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Nider. Today we're gonna watch a new play cEDH. Today's a quick one. I never know who wins because I never pay attention, but I know that if the video is only two parts and a half, that means 20 minutes of gameplay, which means a bunch of crazy shenanigans because we're starting with a shuffling and everything and mulligan. So if it's 21, 22 minutes and it's with all the extra fluff at the beginning, it's going to be a short game. So we have in a turn order, we've got Winota, Krarkashima, Magda. Yes, I forgot my Magda. Somebody scribbled graffitied me a Vampire Neonate, which is a Magda, so whatever. And a Kiki-Jiki. Winota, Burrow's commander. Whenever she attacks with a non-human, they will be able to check their top 5 and flip a human. That's the way to get stacks out and making sure that they can go long. Krarkashima has a bunch of cantrip and wants to try to whenever they cast a spell, they are rolling dice. Whenever they roll dice, they either win or lose. If they lose, goes back to end. If they win, it gets copied. So whenever they cast, they want 1 win, 1 loss. 1 win because they want to resolve it. 1 loss because they want to get the card back in hand so that they can recast it. Extremely dangerous with free spells. You can do a deflecting swat, fierce guardianship forever until you counter the spell, or you could do a submerge forever, put creatures on top of the library non-stop. Magda, little treasure maker, so whenever you tap the dwarf, you make a treasure. Whenever you get 10 treasure, you can try to go for the win. Of course, it's always depending, do you have a artifact dwarf, do you have Clock of Omen in hand? Depending on what you've got, it's a super huge toolbox commander. So whenever you get 5 treasure, you get to decide what you go for, depending on the situation. Kiki-Jiki, I haven't seen so much play with Kiki-Jiki. From what I would understand is that they plan on copying a combat celebrant so that they have infinite combat step. Crazy shenanigans like that, most probably trying to go infinite combat step, extra turn or whatever. I don't know all of the combos, but Kiki-Jiki is... Well, I'm used to Kiki-Jiki in my Naya deck, but you don't have Philidar, don't have nothing. So it would actually be Kiki-Jiki with Combat Celebrant, and there is another one. Whenever he attacks, you can exert, and you get a second combat step. I don't remember what's the name. So they were calling no pregame. Winota starts with a command tower. Stevens, Pedal, Krark. First turn Krark is not that problematic. Standard play, whatever they want. Magda drops a mountain into Liberated Dwarf. Urza Saga into a Mana Vault. It's gonna be high noon. So Rule of Law, that can be sacrificed. So it is a wonderful play, especially to stop a Krarkashima. Now he cannot do crazy shenanigans going over and over again. Mutavault. So Mutavault is a dwarf. Goes out, swing with Liberated Dwarf to get a treasure. Tries to block with High Noon. Sadly, it's only an enchantment. Passes to Kiki-Jiki. Which one is that? So Kenzan, maybe? That is a sexy treasure. Fake one, because I would never buy that one. Treasure token at $50. I will never go in. I like bling, but not that much. So Winota goes and fetch. My worries is that Krarkashima goes and get his trigger card. Is that it? Springleaf Drum is cool. So it's one spell per turn, but he still can do spells at the end of turn. Goblin Rabble Master. So Rebel Master created token on combat and you can swings with it. Of course, it will trigger Winota, so we'll be able to check his top 5. I'm not worried that much. Go to combat, create a token. There's no black on the table, so I would say it the Anos player, but there's no black. Opt on the end step. He lose, so we put back in hand. And passes with 3 mana up. Of course, Tsukishima costs 4. So that's not that surprising. Untap up the keep draw for Magda. Mutavault and 2 dwarf could be 3 treasure. Drops and there's a cave. Yeah, so you can pay 1, make the land into a creature. You could tap the creature to make a colorless, make a treasure. But I'm going to combat. Full swing into the Kiki-Jiki because it's open. Make 3 treasure. Drops a Bloodfire Dwarf. Tries to opt again. So they're asking, whom should I get an answer for? Magda or Winota? Either or. Magda is a problem. Either or, Winota will also be a problem. So everybody around the table except Kiki-Jiki is a problem. There's a Sagat triggers, puts 1 in his pool. My apologies. So I still don't know who's gonna go for it. So Kiki-Jiki costs 6. But Treasonous Ogre costs 4? So red, he has enough for Treasonous Ogre. He doesn't have enough for Kiki-Jiki. Red and 2. Imp Recruiter. Sure. So people are being worried. They're asking me, is there any instant win shenanigans? And I'm like, I don't have any tap outlet. So like I was saying, Magda needs 10 treasure or Clock of Omen, an artifact dwarf, and 5. So depending on the amount of combo piece is on board, you could go quick or not. Kiki-Jiki, I don't know what he's going to get with that Imperial Recruiter. Treasonous Ogre. Treasonous Ogre, but no red. But Treasonous Ogre would be game next turn. Well, not necessarily, depending on what he has in hand. But he has 4 colorless. At the beginning I was saying, oh no, he's gonna get... Snap targeting the Rabble Master. They're all talking about, ooh, the token on top of that. Wow, that is something. So he was saying it would be nice. It's not useless to bounce back Magda, but the thing is Magda costs 2 compared to the Goblin Rabble Master and the token for Winota. It's also a question on, technically what I would have done is target the Rabble Master and target Magda. Try to slow the game down for the other player. Of course, I could have recasted Magda at my turn, but I would have lost the turn using 2 mana to recast Magda. Noon is still around. Krarkashima player so happy that he actually won a single flip. But then again, it's the little wins that are making or breaking your game. Goblin Rabble Master, go to combat. Goblin goes into Krarkashima. So we're talking about whom he should be hitting. Now we know that he has Treasonous Ogre. So Kiki-Jiki copying Imperial Recruiter is a problem because he'll be able to go get Combat Celebrant, like I was saying, which is the infinite combo. So he's going for Revoker and he's asking Treasonous Ogre or Magda, and I'm like, either or. But they're all problematic. But he cannot cast Phyrexian Revoker because of his own High Noon, which is one of my problem. So Treasonous Ogre and Magda are issues. What I would do usually is I got super lucky. Twice they didn't even target me. They should have. Opt is scry and draw. So there's like 3 lines of text for what is now scry 1. Krarkashima goes to his turn. So politicking around the table, they are talking about killing the board, but it's also gonna kill his own game. Presuming he has a board wipe. If he has a board wipe, of course he will kill himself also because he kills everything. So at instant speed, I could generate on my turn at instant speed. I could make a 5th treasure. Go grab something and then go to combat. So Krarkashima is he has a 25% chance when he has a single roll dice. He has 25% chance to get it. I'd say 50, but I'm not gonna say what's Void Snare. Void Snare targeting the Mana Vault. Bounces Mana Vault back to hand. And the copy is the High Noon. Oh, so he's going to try to go for the win. 1, 2, 3. Jessica's Will. Even he wins and he loses. He tried. He who does not try will never get it. So, balls to the walls, Krarkashima is something that you need to do. Untap upkeep draws. So the best play would be for me to full swing at the Krarkashima. I actually super badly played. So at this point, what I could have done is tap to activate Mutavault. Yeah, well, okay, so I didn't know I had Universal Automaton in hand, but what I could have done, tap to activate Mutavault for 1 colorless, go to combat, go get a Roaming Throne at the beginning of combat, tap my 3 dwarfs, make 6 treasure, then I could have went infinite, but I had it in end, so I didn't even need to go. Thank God, because Treasonous Ogre would have been super dangerous on his turn. We had to close the game. Twice I would have. I really doubted the decision to bounce High Noon. Yeah, well, no, he wanted to go for the win. So his move for High Noon, it was a try. He wanted to do it. But the first where he bounced the Goblin token, I believe he could have just bounced Magda to make me spend mana and be a little bit slower. Anyway, congratulations to the Magda player. They sneaked a win. Everybody ignored them. That was wonderful. If you learned anything, please leave a comment below. If you want to reach out, I'll be happy to have a conversation with you. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next game.